Hello and welcome to Talk Motivation with your host Elvis Eckardt, former pro athlete turned business owner, motivating you to achieve personal growth, form new habits, and find happiness in your career and life. Without further ado, let's jump right into today's episode.
Hello everybody, believe it or not, but I am still Elvis Eckardt and your host of Talk Motivation. I started the podcast when we first went into isolation here in the UK in April 2020 and really enjoy bringing episodes to you which give you, well, hopefully some food for thought. Make sure to visit our website www.elvis-eckardt.com/podcast where you can subscribe to the show on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts and other sources so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in the show, I'd appreciate a rating on iTunes, or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would be appreciated too. Today's episode is a Jobseekers Christmas Special, as you might have guessed with the festive background music. If you have a topic you want me to cover, just drop me a message either via LinkedIn or through hello@elvis-eckardt.com. I want to cover a couple of things today. First, I want to have a look at how to demonstrate organizational skills on your resume. And in the second part of the episode, I would like to talk to you about when is the best time to look for a job. Simple, but not so simple, as you may find. So let's talk about how to demonstrate organizational skills on your resume. The ideal candidate will be highly organized. Hands up if you've ever read something similar on a job ad and thought, that sounds like me, but how do I prove it? The answer is through your accomplishments. Simply listing soft skills like organization isn't impactful on a resume. At best, it's an empty buzzword, and at worst, a red flag about your judgment. It also won't help you get past an applicant tracking system, which aren't programmed to look for soft skills. So, now that you know what not to do, here's what to do instead. Listing organizational skills on your resume isn't about what you say, but how you say it. Choose accomplishments that demonstrate your organizational skills in action, and don't forget to back up your claims with hard numbers and metrics. The best place for organizational skills on your resume is in your work experience section. It's the section that hiring managers or HR professionals pay the most attention to, which makes it perfect for highlighting key skills. So first, consider what makes you organized. Are you physically organized? Mentally? Can you organize other people? Are you good at coordinating projects or events? After that, read the job posting and look at the key responsibilities of the role. What type of organizational skills does it require? Now, think about the time you did something similar. Focus on what you did that required organizational skills. For example, organizing an event, creating a filing system, or leading a team or project. Now, write down your bullet points with relevant action verbs. Verbs like organized, structured, streamlined, compiled, and refined. They all speak to organizational skills. Clearly state exactly what you did and what it achieved, using numbers wherever possible. Hiring managers love numbers. It makes things tangible. Aim to match each key skill or responsibility from the job description to an accomplishment on your CV. It's like a simple math formula really. An action verb plus a task or project plus a metric or result create a tangible accomplishment on your CV. An example would be if you are a sales or account manager, you could put something like created a performance reporting template achieving a 60% reduction in the preparation time of standard client materials. Another example, if you are a marketing executive, you could put overhauled our website by redesigning landing pages and improved mobile responsiveness, which led to 70% more leads via email capture forms and reduced the bounce rate by 15%. I hope these two examples make it a bit more understandable. Another way to demonstrate organizational skills on your resume is in your skills section. Having said that, This doesn't mean listing highly organized as one of your skills. That's still a resume no-no. But if you have any relevant hard skills, including these in a skills or additional section of your resume, can help reinforce your organizational skills. Technical processes, process improvement, and organizational software are all a good match. So include relevant hard skills in your skills or other section. In all stages of the hiring process, HR professionals or recruiters don't just rely on what's on your resume when making hiring decisions. They also consider what they see with their own eyes. Make sure your organizational skills are on display when it counts. That means responding promptly to emails, showing up on time for your interviews, including all the information you ask for in the job application or follow-up conversations, and having a well-organized and easy-to-read resume. So what organizational skills should you include on a resume? Rule of thumb is that you should be carefully reading through the job description to get a good feel for the exact types of organizational skills the job requires. But in general, some multi-purpose organizational skills worth including in your resume are words like time management, attention to detail, scheduling, multitasking, prioritization, event planning, leading a team, project management, organizing files and data, maintaining a neat and tidy space. But exactly like the phrase highly organized, you shouldn't just list these buzzwords on your resume. Instead, use your bullet point accomplishments to highlight organizational skills. Let's have a look at some examples of organizational skills to help you get started. Let's say you want to apply for an administrative position. You could put something like organize new office and design systems to maximize office function efficiency by, 30%. Organizational skills are key for administrative positions. Highlight your ability to set up and run an office by emphasizing improvements you've made to individual systems or overall efficiency. Let's have a look at another example. Say you want to apply for a data input role. You could put something like managed and updated more than 1,000 patient records, schedules, and insurance coverage into the company database, ensuring data security and confidentiality. Organizing things like files, data, and schedules. Choose an accomplishment that demonstrates how you've previously done something similar. If you're applying for leadership role or team leader role in a call center, you could put something like assisted in managing call center operations of 250 plus virtual agents, keeping oversight of performance, service fees, training, and contracting. Positions of leadership require strong organizational skills, especially if you'll be coordinating teams who work remotely or from different locations. Be specific about the experience you have, including the size of the team and what functions you oversaw, to give hiring managers a stronger sense of what you can bring to the table. I think these three examples should give you a good insight in how to give a possible new employer an insight into your organizational skills. If you have any questions surrounding it, just drop me a message on LinkedIn or drop me an email to hello@elvis-eckardt.com.
You are listening to Talk Motivation, the podcast where you get your weekly dose of motivation. Now back to your host, Elvis Eckardt.
Welcome to part 2 of this Jobseekers Christmas Special. Thanks for sticking with me. In part 2, I would like to talk to you about when is the best time to look for a job. If you are looking for the right window to begin your job search, here are some key things to keep in mind. You will find that timing is important when it comes to looking for a job. Believe it or not, the time of the year and even the day of the week can play a factor as to how successful you are in finding and securing that right position. Beyond that, you may be wondering if the best time to start looking for a job is when you're still employed, or how much leeway you should aim to give yourself for the job hunt. So, is there a best time to apply for jobs? Well, again, the simple answer is no. If you're curious about what's out there, Your personal job search should start at any time of the year. Jobs are usually available in different industries year-round. And beginning to look means you'll see any opportunities that pop up. When you see one, it's good practice to apply for it no matter what time of the year it is. If you have it in your mind that you should wait to start looking until the market is busy, you may miss out on your dream job. And please don't wait until you're desperate. Most importantly, if you're in need of a new job, don't wait until any other time of the year to start looking for it. Start looking as soon as possible so you can replenish your resources. Don't wait until you literally hate your job or your work environment becomes too toxic before updating your resume or networking. The more desperate you are to find work, the less likely you are to find a fulfilling position, as the importance will quickly shift to anything that brings in a paycheck. That job likely won't be the right fit for you, and you might end up in the same problem all over again. If you're even a little unhappy, remember that you're always allowed to look at other opportunities. You should always be passively searching for other opportunities or jobs, so you're prepared and can take massive action when the right one comes along. When you have time to find the right job, you can be much more selective about your requirements, whether that's salary, company, or role, and what you actually want. If you know you're going to be starting your job search soon, but aren't sure quite when, you should get ahead of the game by getting your resume up to speed. So, what are the best and worst times of the year to find a job? When it comes to being hired, the likelihood improves at certain times of the year, particularly for specific industries that follow seasonal hiring cycles, like accounting firms hire during tax season or retail companies hire during the holidays. This varies by industry, however, other industries such as office work are slower to hire during the holidays. If you can, find out if your industry follows a seasonal cycle and aim for that. In general, January and February are the months when most companies are looking for workers, meaning you most likely have more options to consider applying to if you start your search then. Spring and fall are both decent times of the year to find work too, but keep in mind that you may be facing increased competition from recent graduates during this season. Try to avoid starting your job search in the summer months, June, July or August. If you can, as this is when most companies are taking a break from hiring new employees and many managers are out of the office altogether. So what is the best time of day to look for jobs? Most companies post their open jobs in the mid to late morning around 11 a.m. So if your goal is to be among the first to apply, that's when you should generally start checking your job boards. In terms of the time of the week, that's best to look for jobs. Tuesday is the most common day of the week for new jobs to be posted. Keep in mind, however, that as long as the application period is open, someone will most likely look at your application no matter what day of the week you send it in. Is there an advantage to applying as soon as a job is listed? Some positions are based on the model that they'll hire people until their quota is filled. And in this case, you'll definitely want to be among the first to apply. Others will stick to their posted deadline, meaning you can send in your application right up to the last minute and have equal consideration to those who applied before you. The job posting itself may specify what type of application process it is. What if the job has been listed for a while, you may ask? Don't let this be an automatic deterrent to you, as some companies are looking to fill multiple positions, perhaps at different branches or even for remote work. If the position appears to be open and the application time or period is still ongoing, send in your application to avoid potentially missing out. If you aren't sure, send the hiring manager an email to clarify and start building your professional relationship or rapport with them as you do. How much time should I give myself to apply? Well, if you're currently employed but are preparing to start looking for a new job, you may be in the position to plan how much time to give yourself to find work before leaving your current position, or to put it another way, how much savings you should set aside. Ideally, you'll want to have between 1 and 3 months of cushion between when you start applying to jobs and when you're planning on leaving your current position. The more time you can give yourself, the better. However, as it's not uncommon for job searches to take up to 6 months or more, depending on what you're applying for really. For those currently not employed, but who have the resources to wait, employers won't generally bat an eye at employment gaps of 6 months or less. Beyond that, plan to incorporate self-employment, volunteering, or other projects on your resume where possible. Of course, if you see an opening at your dream company, send in your application even if you don't have active plans to leave your current job. Alternatively, set up an informational interview and start the networking process to see what opportunities may open up down the road. Regardless of where you are in your job search, remember to take advantage of the resources you have available to you. Ultimately, the time of the year, week and day are secondary factors as to when you should apply for a job. If you see that a position you'd like to have is open and actively accepting applications, apply for it, go for it. Even if you aren't successful, it's a significant step in moving towards the career you'd like to have. So, what else is there to say? A not so easy year for a lot of us is coming to an end, and we are approaching Christmas in massive steps. I thank you for your trust in me and wish you and your families a wonderful and relaxing Christmas, and of course a happy new year. I hope your wishes come true, you stay healthy and face the challenges of the new year with optimism. In a world turned upside down through this pandemic, hold on. I would love to finish this special episode and the year 2021 with a saying out of one of my favorite ever movies, Blow. Every time I'm sad or start to lose hope, I read it and it just makes me feel better. I'm sure that must count for something. It goes like this. May the wind always be at your back and the sun upon your face. And may the wings of destiny carry you aloft to dance with the stars. On that note, I'd like to finish this special episode. Thanks for listening to Talk Motivation. If you enjoyed this Jobseekers Christmas special, please share the love and let your network know about it. Make sure to follow my YouTube page too. The channel name is Elvis Eckardt Recruitment. All of the episodes are on there too. Thank you so much for making this one of your favorite podcasts. Please do go subscribe and leave us a review on iTunes because it helps others to find the show. Or better yet, just tell your family and friends and acquaintances about it. Everyone really who loves a bit of positivity. Feel free to also connect with me on LinkedIn and we can take the conversation there.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Talk Motivation with your host, Elvis Eckardt. To listen to this episode again and to find previous episodes, search Talk Motivation on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google Podcasts. Sayonara, muchachos!